In my previous video, I talked about the popular Triforce wish theory in The Legend of Zelda, the idea that the downfall timeline was the original timeline, and how at the end of A Link to the Past, after wishing to undo the evil of Ganon, Link inadvertently changes the final battle in Ocarina of Time, where instead of Ganon defeating the hero, it's Ganon who is defeated, causing the birth of the adult and child timelines like we see in-game. And I thought, since I talked about that idea, why not talk about the other popular theory about the downfall timeline's creation? The one that says each split timeline represents a piece of the Triforce. The power, wisdom, courage timeline theory. When the official timeline came out in 2011, some people noticed that each of the split timelines matched up with a piece of the Triforce. The downfall timeline matches with power because of Ganon defeating Link, while the adult and child timelines match with courage and wisdom. To be honest, you can swap courage and wisdom, but I'll explain in a second why I connect courage with the adult timeline and wisdom with the child timeline. How this theory works is that from playing Ocarina of Time, we the player see how the adult and child timelines are created. But if the adult and child timelines are meant to represent courage and wisdom, according to this theory, there must then be a third timeline to represent power, almost as a way of balancing the universe because there are three pieces of the Triforce. This results in the creation of the downfall timeline, and the split happens during the final battle with Ganon because of how important that final battle is. The reason something like this could happen in the series might actually be because of Zelda's actions. Canonically, Ocarina of Time is the only game in the series where the timeline splits. To be honest, Nintendo could have decided that Link warning Zelda in the past would overwrite the adult timeline, but they instead chose to split the timeline. So, you could argue that by sending Link to the past and causing this split, Zelda accidentally made time unstable. And with both of those timelines connected to a piece of the Triforce, a third timeline was needed to fix this instability, to balance everything out. Also, the downfall timeline is not actually created by traditional time travel. There are no characters that go back and cause the downfall split. It's more of a quantum split, where reality duplicates instead. It's like the many worlds interpretation, the idea that a universe is created for every possible outcome of a decision. In this case, the outcomes of the final battle in Ocarina of Time. A universe created where Link wins, and one created where Ganon wins. Hyrule Historia itself, when talking about the downfall timeline, says, of all possible outcomes, which kind of sounds like the many worlds interpretation. Time being unstable could probably allow something like this to happen. And because this game is the only one that features a timeline split where time may be unstable, that could also explain why there are no other splits like this in any of the other games. I've had some talks with people commenting on my previous videos about which aspect fits which timeline, but let me explain how I see it. The downfall timeline representing power is obvious, but for me, the adult timeline represents courage, and the child timeline represents wisdom, simply because each timeline is directly caused by the events of Ocarina of Time. In the downfall timeline, Ganon wins, power prevails. He claims the complete Triforce, but is sealed in the Sacred Realm, causing the events of A Link to the Past. In the adult timeline, Link defeats Ganon. Courage overcomes power. Link is sent back to the past and leaves this timeline, and this eventually results in the events of Wind Waker. And in the child timeline, using his knowledge and wisdom of the future to warn Zelda, Ganondorf is apprehended and banished to the Twilight Realm. Wisdom overcomes power. And of course, this leads to the events of Twilight Princess. Each of the three outcomes of Ocarina of Time matches directly with a piece of the Triforce, and these outcomes directly lead to the games of their respective timelines. and that's why I connect the aspects like this. So that is the power, wisdom, courage timeline theory. But what do you think? Did that make sense? Or do you still have a headache from the last video? Let me know below, and thank you for watching.